of the fact that you have huge pick potential with the Franco, and now my biggest question is where does Hylos fit? How does he work?
In the jungle.
He's in the jungle. This is, still a great option, but how can you utilize this? And at the same time, we don't see too much Hylos. He has popped up here and there around the world in other tournaments, and even, possibly through the group stage, if I recall right. But he's not played often. And you pair it up with someone like the Barretts, who's also not played super often. How does this work? We saw this yesterday, OSX, when the Ballman came out. Let's hope that it works for Egypt. That's what we have to hope for.
We'll leave the playstyle, even the mix right here for Egypt. We're going in for a pause. We could speculate the possibilities here. The Hylos or Huda has the concussive blast. They have a way of utilizing the focusing mark onto Franco. So this is kind of like an all-in invade. Once you have a hook, that's where you get your team into the gank or even for a team fight. But for the side, or even for Saudi Arabia's composition, you have the rough waves, you have the Ocean Audi for knock-up. You actually have 3 CCs to deal with.
Yeah, you have a lot.
Edith, you have Kufra, you have Kanata. Well, just as that. And hitting level 4, Coffin, being the MVP on the last game, if he utilizes more of his rotation, having the boots first, that could be a problem for Egypt's lineup to even scale.
That would be my main concern, here. Once again, Coffin, the performance he had in the previous game was amazing, and you put a hero like this Kadita in the hands of someone like that, right? With the performance, actually it's been rather consistent for Coffin for the most part, and if he's able to just kind of get these early kills on a Kadita, putting pressure on really like the main targets over here would obviously either be, you got your mid lane, you can either go for Smile or obviously you can go for Speedy. Those are your main 2 options. They have a ton of CC like you mentioned to help with that, and if they can find those early kills, snowball kind of out of control here, it's a lot to deal with, right? But eventually...
Huge amount of CC, man, even a taunt.
Yeah, the taunt is great as well, but eventually you have to kind of figure out, how do we deal with this Kadita, man? And sometimes it's just getting to that later portion of the game when for the most part, you at least have an Athena's shield or you have some magic resistance to help you out with a burst, and then it gets increasingly difficult, and then you have to start relying on the conceals, right? So in that sense, it's really up to Egypt to set the pace here, because as long as you avoid the Kadita early on, you should be able to find your own sets, right? With having a Franco, you have the option to find those pickoffs.
That's a great question. How do they deal with a great amount of CC and burst? Specifically for Coffin, Kadita being present into this draft, with the Beatrix present on Egypt, that is their damage. That's their complete winning condition. You say Franco here could be the answer with the focusing mark. Once he gets on point with his hooks, feed it right away to the Beatrix.
He had the focusing mark, right?
He had, yeah.
He had it. Okay,
he has it right now. So with that, either he he advances or gives more time or even kills to that Beatrix to compensate damage. Because looking at the Hylos, looking at the Barretts, more likely for it's a go time attack and disable 1 with the Tonus welcome for the players of Saudi Arabia. But for that, with all 3 heroes being in a utility or having a great amount of CC, you have to kind of want to have a great amount of damage, either starting from minute 4 to even 7. If that fails, and if you're going to put your bet on to the later stage of the game, you might as well survive the early onslaught or even stage that Saudi Arabia can give to you.
Yeah, I should say that too, in the sense of Lark and what we've seen from Lark so far up to this point. Just the fact that he got his hands on the carry against this lineup is definitely tough to deal with, right? If he's able to get these early kills. Like I said, most of these games, the gold lane experience is what you're trying to have here. And if that happens, a couple early kills. This is either way, though, for Speedy. But I feel like with the lineup that you have already, there's 3 durable heroes, and you're up against a carry, you know how devastating it can be if she gets these early kills, right, and starts shredding that front line. Because the reason why that Barrett's worked out so well yesterday, OSX, is there was no answer for the tankiness, right? There was no carry across from it. And at the same time, Barrett's is only one of the 3 that you have to deal with, right? So not only do you have to work around with having a little bit of a lesser range than a lot of these marksmen, but still, as long as you can deal with that, that would be a best-case scenario for Egypt here.
Yeah, you would really want to have that vision early game. You don't want to get disrupted. You don't want to be disturbed in the first place. A lot of ways to really see on how Saudi Arabia could have a different diversion plan against the early game of Egypt. You might as well not get in your head and just focus on your lane. Because with that, you can either set a good momentum or even, you can even rely for your Franco. With this hero being present in the hands of Franco, I think this could go, we can have a brighter chance for even them to funnel on the kills on the Beatrix.
Yeah, again, I think that's key, right? Anytime you have the Franco paired up with the Beatrix, focusing Mark as well, that's what you're hoping for. And that's always the thing, though. In a way, too, Franco is risky, right? Because once the hook is down,
you're down.
I guess you have a plan B.
Flicker, bloody hunt.
Yeah, but which is more than a lot of, I guess, pick-off potential heroes have, which is great. But still, obviously, that's what you're going to be doing if you're Maro. And if you look back at the history of Maro on this hero, the Franco, it is a signature pick. It's something that he loves to play. It's something that he's consistently been great on. So in IESF alone, he's had the statistics there in his favor. Mm-hmm. So that is, again, something they can play around with. And, as they get things situated here for Team Egypt, it looks like basically that's what we want to see unfold, right? We just jumped into the game. So as the game progresses, I would say, so far from what we've seen, man, is either teams deciding like, okay, these turtles are coming up here. Do we just give them up? Like, in the current state of the game, yeah, we either see these trades going on. Not so much, I wouldn't say it's so much where you have these full-on fights for turtles, for the most part. Like, you're either trying to see if they're willing to give it up. Hold on, we're back into the game. And so, yeah, we're 1 minute in, right?
Wait.
Jumping in there, too. You can see, right? Maro, like I said, placement-wise, they're trying to get in position early on. But, for the most part, that first turtle might be the most action-packed turtle, depending on how the course of the game goes.
Yeah, we have a few seconds for the first turtle to show up. But to point out here, Flicker has been used by Alpha, heading before the pause. So probably this is just, you're trying to make use of the early game rotation that they can cover where the tracks of Coffin would be. He's not yet on level 4, but in the minute that they have, or the second that they have the turtle into the presence of this game, they could actually make use of the ultimates to actually give away of an advantage in team fights. 8 seconds for the turtle, and we have seen positioning here, or even the presence of Alpha just by holding his lane against Sanji and Tarzan.
Okay, as they get prepped up, turtle now up. Everybody pretty much trying to get that level 4 as much as possible, give them as much advantage as they can. Both junglers starting this up. It is going to get a little reset here. Alpha also quite beefy already. Troll going to charge up. They go for it.
Okay, what could be the answer? We have the glorious strategy being set up. Coffin, though, with a fall to the rough waves. Will this be the burst that they needed? Yes, Troll gets the kill. Now Saudi Arabia takes the first blood. Turtle, though, is up for the taking, but we have the Tonus welcome right onto the wall. Troll can't do anything much, but Tarzan secures the objective. Wow, great start for Saudi Arabia.
Great decision-making there. Saudi Arabia able to get the turtle, able to get the first blood, going in the hands of Troll here. And you saw it, man. This is exactly why Kadita is picked up. You saw the burst potential that early on, and that's what's so devastating, right? Kadita's burst early on is such a nuisance to deal with. You kind of already have to play defensively with it, build some early magic resistance if you can, and there you have it, right? So with that, they'll continue to try to control some of this game. There's a hook.
Missed the landing, but now you have been taken right into the turret defense of Egypt. Huda gets the first point for his team. We're talking about that CC, man, for Kadita as a Kadita user myself. Early game, you would want to have that momentum. You want to have that item being built upon. You need to have that extra attributes to burst. Oh, a good hook. Another follow-up. The Coffin's being caught, used the breath or even the ocean oddity to just have a safe passage out of that takedown.
Gotta stay alive here for Coffin. Like we said, that MVP performance from game number 1. Putting the pressure here on the top side. Maro.
Another great hook for this Franco. Glorious Pattern being set up. It's go time for Egypt. Speedy takes the kill. Finally, it's skirmish. Right on to the burst of Coffin. He takes down one. That's Speedy, the marksman of Egypt. Now, this could be a pursuit. Mars just walking through. He's looking for safety right onto the bush. Now he's being poked down by Tarzan, being taunted. He's still safe. He's just trying to walk away, but he won't escape this one. Tarzan secures the point now. 3 members trying to eye on Alpha. Daytona's welcome. Will this be the path of escape for him being knocked up? Troll secures the kill. Alpha falls down.
It's a bloodbath right here, right? Troll's on fire, though. Doing a great job here on this Kufra pick. Now that it's 2-4, still though, economy-wise, pretty much even gold across the board, but in the hands of the right members here, right? Speedy also picking up a kill is great. We're gonna take a look at the replay here, how things unfolded. Maro landing that hook once again. Look at the pressure there. Flickers come through, ultimates as well. Able to find marks, but Cuffin once again on the Kadita. Gets multiple knockups, and the follow-through comes there. Maro gets chased down, and like I said, back and forth between both teams. Turtle secured, though.
Speaking of which, action is going to break through here. Huda here is falling down the hands of Cuffin, using that ultimate right onto the burst. Egypt right now would really want to find an avenue to take that objective or even for a trade. But now, second turtle goes in the hands of Saudi Arabia.
So I think at this point, again, another turtle secured here. It looks like, I mean, scaling-wise, too, we'll have to see Cuffin what his first item is going to be locked in. It might be Clock of Destiny if he decides to go that. I know he's got a little bit of penetration already, too. You can see it. And having Lethal Ignition, I mean, for the most part, man, we don't see too many heroes right now, at least in the playoffs, rolling with Lethal Ignition. A lot of, you know, just a lot of quantum charges, a lot of rage, pure rages there. And it works, right? It works for them. But at the same time, the burst potential with Kadita alone has to be your #1 priority to deal with for Egypt. How do you do that? There, it's the Genius Wand, actually, so even more, right? That magic damage is going to hurt.
Magic
and it works actually really
that's
well.
going to hurt, man.
It works great, too, even having Needith on your team with the Primal Wrath comes through. So, with that being said, the gold lead continues to build up. Let's see if there's a counterplay here. Maro goes through.
Somebody's trying to recall. Ultimate now being shoved upon Maro's face. Cuffin used the rough waves. Bursting one. Now Lark being pushed on the defense of their own turret. They have committed the ultimate of Huda here. It's just go time always. Once they see a target, they just commit to it right away. But there is a possible clapback of Saudi Arabia they can utilize once a step has been committed by Egypt. Just as that, Tarzan is trying to poke Huda, and Speedy is here as well, trying to use those hits to actually make some damage work right into the turret. Now they're just giving up on this one. Saudi Arabia takes a turret out up top.
So given the situation, even with this quite tanky lineup, you can see they're lacking damage, right? At this early on, they're lacking some damage here, even with rolling with the focusing mark and landing a hook or two here and there. It's just not enough, right? At this point, it's not a big gold disparity, but still fighting for these objectives. You're seeing it here. Lark picking up the golden staff now, fighting for this third turtle. Who's going to grab it here?
Let's see who gets it. It's going to be Tarzan, still securing the third turtle of the game with a knockout. Whoa, good hook right onto Maro. Will this be the fight if you're waiting for Cuffin? User of waves to burst down one. Tarzan takes one, takes two. Huda falls down. 3 members out of Egypt. Now they're trying to get one more. They've taken out a turret. Now Daytona's welcome will still be helpful right now, but it's not yet available for Alpha. Now this time around, he's going to be now slowed down, even in his own turret, trying to buy time for his safety. And Saudi Arabia once again took out another turret down bottom.
Man, Saudi Arabia, 3 turtles, just clean sweeping on that regard. They've got 3 turrets. They've got the space advantage to work around. And not to mention, Cuffin is massive, just like we saw in the previous game. He's now 4-0 and, 5 here. Even looking at the replay, it was great, right? But look at this. Sanji already used that Primal Wrath. He gets eaten up with the Daytona's welcome, but still, they go for it now. Looks like Huda wants to make a play here.
Troll, his HP bars is dropping. Now being stunned, Lark flickers out for safety. Now trying to use the bouncing ball, cancel out. Speedy takes the kill. Egypt slowly isolating members of Saudi Arabia. Now going back to their lanes, they want to clear some minions. They felt some damage there. Even Lark used out a resource. Speedy, on the other hand, I think this is the items that you're waiting for. Is this a damage? Is the damage departing now online for a team Egypt?
Speedy needed that kill. He's only got the BOD. He's working on his next item here. But that's crucial, right? That actually can convert into some kills. They're going to make a play up top.
Wow, right onto the turret, using the glorious path of Daytona's welcome onto the defense now, dropping down the health. Alpha falls down, Speedy takes the kill. Alpha falls down to Lark on a spree. That's 2 kills onto this carry. Now with the hook, amazing pick off. Coffin now is trying to go down deep. Rough Waves complement the burst with a recall spam right at Smiles, going back to his own defense. Now 4 members of Saudi Arabia just pushing through, taking out 4 from Egypt. Now Troll might be jumping. Yes, he will. They're not letting go of Smile. But this time around, Egypt is letting go a tower up top.
Everywhere you look, Saudi Arabia is making moves, right? And now they're making a move here, quickly taking out this first Lord of the game. Even after you take a look at the items here, now they've managed a 6K gold lead. After they were holding things close together, you know, Egypt was hanging in there, but in a blink of an eye, things have clearly gone in favor of Saudi Arabia. Now that they get ready to march up with this first Lord of the game, they're going to go ahead and work on these tier 2 turrets a little bit further. Lark at this point too, exactly where he needs to be, also buffed up with the orange buff, primed and ready for this fight. They can force this too. Again,
another
that's the power of this
well-timed
lineup
waves
that they have,
on the side,
whether it's Troll, whether even if it's Cuffin. If Cuffin decides to go in for it with that rough waves, with that petrifying combination, even if he doesn't get a kill, which is highly unlikely, he will at least get some of these spells out, some of these ultimates out from Egypt. You can see them set up here. Troll's going to charge in.
Not used the flicker. Iron Hook has been committed as well. Second tier turret in mid might be taken by Saudi Arabia. All waves pushing from all lanes right now. There's a Lord up top. This might be Egypt trying to clear out the problem right now in this objective push. 5 to 13, they take on the second tier turret, leaving them 3 turrets for their defense. Look at that, items being picked up. 3 members present. We have more burst, we have more defense, and more shredding power.
Okay, so with that being said, they picked up key items, key pickups here. You saw that, the Divine Glaive locked in. Wind of Nature as well, but the bright side here, Speedy, right? Speedy had just picked up the Malefic Roar. So he's at a point now, he's got the BOD, he's at least got the Malefic Roar. He still needs a little more time. It's 11 minutes in here. There's a hook from Morrow.
There is the action now, bit of follow-up. Coffin now is being taken down. That's a 2-man knock-up. What a good setup. Run in from Saudi Arabia. What's the follow-up now from Team Egypt? They'll look at the damage. They're looking Iron, but Speed on the back line, trying to poke on Troll. Troll's dropping down low. Tarzan as well from the back line. Huda trying to hold over the damage. Now what will be the answer here? Tarzan is out falling, dropping low. Members of Egypt right now are trying to take on this opportunity now with the damage. It's Egypt clutching through this 11 minutes now into this game. Right onto the turret. Sanji's the only one left from that team fight.
Wow, hopefully we're going to replay there because Egypt just came out swinging, taking multiple members down right before that played out. I said he's got a couple items, he might need a little more. Well, now he should be able to have it because that was a great swing in their favor. They pretty much just mitigated the gold lead that was built up for Saudi Arabia. Look at that, the hook was there. They take care of Cuffin. That's why Saudi Arabia lost a ton of damage. Great setup from Troll though. But look at the response. Sanji even goes in, tries to force out Speedy, but great flicker defensively, able to bob and weave his way out of there, and finds the kills that he needs. Great micro there from Egypt, and especially from Speedy with that double. They're looking good. They closed the gap a little bit. They're in a prime position to contest this Lord here. Saudi Arabia knows that they still have somewhat of a lead, but they have to play this carefully. It's getting dangerous for them.
Yeah, setups now could still be present. Look at that Troll being caught up by the Bloody Hunt, and with this damage connecting all to the tank of Cuffin. Now the burst has been used. We have the rough waves, but there will be follow-up here. Now Egypt will be on retreat. 3-man stun there from on the mid. Large secures to kill. Alpha falls down, and now Saudi Arabia has more eyes here onto the objective. 3-man down for Egypt. This gives them way to get the objective and going for a push.
Welcome to the pendulum, right? That's the way it swings here, and that just went back in favor of Saudi Arabia. They're going to go ahead and secure themselves this next Lord, getting ready to march in here. Lark, now a problem. Sanji, deathless, right? He has not gone down yet on this Edith, has had an amazing game so far. And even if you just watch Sanji, a lot of times, the way he's putting pressure on the back line, specifically Speedy here, is working out magnificently, right? Now as they get ready for this Lord to march in, you're going to have to see. Egypt's got to stay together. right? They're going to have to use these concealed plays. Sanji could be in trouble here.
Oh, being deathless, will this be the first death of Sanji? He has the immortality, but that's 4 members of Egypt. No, you won't be escaping that one. That's immortality being used upon. Now that is just the first takedown of
they're gonna get cut
Edith
off
just now, and by just looking at the back line here, they're going to be cut off here for the ambush. Stroll jumping in, trying to hold on and take on Alpha. Hook will not connect. Mara as well, looking for an avenue to get a chance for this setup. Now look at that, Lark throwing down a frisbee of damage right at Alpha. That's a big, huge barrage right there. Alpha has just shredded out of defense coming from the carry.
Okay, now they're going to make it work on the Lord. Troll goes in.
What a good setup, what a good hug right onto the marksman. Now Troll is now bouncing out. Shut down from Coffin. No Valentina for Egypt. Glorious pathway has been committed, opening up more avenues for Saudi Arabia to slowly push in the base.
Great job from Egypt here. Still holding on to these inhibitor-based turrets a little bit longer. They're a couple hits away, but they know they got to be careful. Saudi Arabia could be hooked at any point when it comes to these defenses here. So they have to play around that. You see that, right? Even with that second Lord, they were not able to get fully into the base. They got the top one down, the mid and the bottom nearly taken out as well.
There was a conceal, and there was a cyclone eye being used. They were trying to have an attempt there for the back line, but decided to not do so. There's no opportunity, even the Lord yet. So they were sensing in a way that there was something doing a clear down bottom, and they just wanted to secure the objective, even the opportunity to take down one against Saudi Arabia.
Now at this point, again, once for both of these teams, it's still a ways away for that Lord to come up. But will it be even more important now that it's going to be the third one of the game? If they can find a pick, either team here, crucial. That's what you see them doing at this point, trying to find setups, whether that's with conceal, whether it's not, right? Now, really, both teams have great initiations. If they don't want to play around with the conceal, if they want to just find their own initiation angles, they can. There's multiple ways on both sides to do it. But it might just be better off at this, given the situation. Given the fact that Saudi Arabia is at match point here for this series, just fight it out. Fight out that Lord, contest it the best you can, and full force it, right? But really, it comes down to managing even these side waves, right? Put the pressure top and bottom. You see even that tier 2 just barely hanging on there for Saudi Arabia. Look at this, Alpha. Maro goes in.
Bloody Hunt has been connected to Coffin, being bursted down by the members of Egypt. Now it's just complete mayhem onto Saudi Arabia. How are they going to bounce back from this Lark as well? Being used as bait there. Huda takes the kill. Now Tarzan's being hooked as well. Another great follow-up from Maro here, but Egypt is utilizing this mistake that Saudi Arabia has made. Now Tarzan's dropping low. 2 members trying to get it for the defeat and retreat, but Tarzan is not going to let that one away. Speedy secures the kill, and just as that, Egypt maximizing the window of Saudi Arabia committed. Now they're at the base.
Don't count them out. They're going to charge up, trying to buy as much time as they can here. Sanji doing his best. Troll as well. Can they hold on?
That is a good hold. It's still they're still making it work. Coffin on the other hand, will the rough waves be the answer to buy more time for his team to have a retribution for this
Lark's
one?
Up.
Huda as well gonna fall back. Coffin and Lark, this is a chase.
Wow.
This is a pursuit. Huda falls down. Will be Alpha the next target here of Lark. Oh, he missed. Connecting his base. He can't attack from that purple. He was so close, but there's minions right now marching the base of Egypt.
They're going to march down. Looks like they're just giving a call, running it down mid. They want to get that turret down. 3 members for Egypt are down. Can they defend? Quickly looking at the replay here. An amazing defense. Look at Troll. Huge setup there, buying tons of time with that rage. Now Alpha in trouble.
That is the shredding power right now of Lark. Carry on the late game. The answer, the phase of Saudi Arabia to make things work right now. Damage. Even the gold deficit right now is not too far, but they have an advantage now in taking this Lord for themselves. No defenses present for Egypt. This is the window. Yes, they have few hiccups. How will this work for Egypt?
Man, Troll, what a defense there alongside Sanji. Now that's going to go ahead, secure themselves another Lord here.
It's just reacted by conceal to conceal, bro. Completely having the sense of somebody might get taken down.
Maro, okay, not going to land the hook there. Base is fully exposed. Lord will be marching down shortly. And now that we had that whole exchange, some of these immortalities have been down. They have. Really, it just comes down to this. Can Egypt pull it together? Can they stay alive long enough? Can they do exactly what even Troll and Sanji just did, but with full force here? Possibly even finding a pickoff early on. That might be what they're looking for. Lark did go down.
Huda used the ultimate there, scare off members of Saudi Arabia. Lark falls down though. 40 seconds for the Shredder to actually
Lark,
respond. Wow, dude, this is a window of Egypt right now to even utilize against Saudi Arabia. The damage right now of Sanji is not enough without Lark, so now they need to buy more time to wait him recall back in his team fight.
That's crazy, right? Lark went down at the worst possible moment. Again, they were looking to push in there with that Lord. Not able to do it because of the fact that Lark went down. Also just picks up that Wooden Nature, has that available to him now. But still, you got to be careful on the positioning, the placements. It's neck and neck at this point, almost 20 minutes into the game. Gold and economy pretty much even here. Everybody has what they need at this point, right?
Lark gets back.
It comes down to the fact that you have to watch out for these initiations, especially from Morrow. Morrow so far has been on point. He also now has the immortality. He's got to wait a little bit longer to have that flicker available because that is such a deadly combination alone. The flicker with the bloody hunt, and there has to be a response, a counterplay available here for Saudi Arabia. Even taking a look at the items, right? It's pretty much locked in for the most part. There's also a couple winter trojans here over for Egypt with the Hylos, with the Barretts to buy a little bit more time in these fights, not to mention even for Smile. The response too from Saudi Arabia is they're more opting for, obviously, those immortalities. They have the damage and the penetration that they need with their multiple items. Now, really, what's the timing here for Lark? Is that Wind of Nature enough for him defensively? You know, he's got that, he's got Flicker. That's about it. He has to rely on the rest of his team to peel for him.
That's a good point, right? Lark right now has immunity. Will the immortality be enough? Will the physical damage immunity be enough? Because at some point, like early on, the first thing that get caught off in the hook was Coffin. Troll used the with the flicker. What a combo with all the rough waves. What a burst coming from Saudi Arabia. Mara responds in with the bloody hunt. Now with the follow-up here, Sanji's used the primal wrath. This is complete magic damage. Two-man knock, a follow-up here. Just right by Saudi Arabia. HP bar still dropping down. But look at the damage coming in from Egypt. Tarzan falls down. Troll takes down Alpha with a flicker right onto their own territory. Sanji low on health just right now, but if all with the burst, immortality has been used. Wow, two members down. The trade one in Tarzan was the only casualty for Saudi Arabia.
Man, did you see the hook? That was right into the form of Ida. I don't know if we're going to catch that in the replay there. Let's see if it happens. What a great setup from Troll here. Once again, having a massive game on the Kufra. And this is a prolonged fight, right? For the most part. They get cut off too, utilizing that Hylos ultimate, and there you go. Look at this, just back and forth. They really can't commit just yet. This is going to be the hook. Let's see it. Yeah, Sanji goes in to the form, able to survive too somehow with a sliver of health.
That is by far the longest hook I have seen in this playoffs.
Yeah.
He just get over here, right on the Ida. He pulled out a huge robot onto the fight, completely buying more time. It's all about the recon, it's all about the region, how do you even recover. No, they're back again for another Lord take, a dance we're about to see.
Lord here is up. Crucial one to take. You can see the positioning for both teams. What you can expect at this point is some form of a concealed play coming through. Egypt getting in position. There's the response. Saudi Arabia looking for an angle here. Troll once again.
Troll coming in from behind. Okay, not committing to that jump. Resets. Immortality present for Lark.
Look at the push too. They have to handle this push at the top lane. Egypt cannot leave this. They know it. They have to send someone back to the base. They're going to lose out on a number advantage right now. It's Smile's job to do it. Saudi Arabia knows it.
They missed the chance to knock off Alpha here, but will they be defending or will they be getting Mara with the hook with the belly hunt connecting? That was Lark. The marksman of Saudi Arabia flickers out for safety. Now the Lord, who's going to take it now? We have the Norse pathway being used and activates. Troll stun Speedy from behind. Force the flicker out. Now immortality is used by Lark. It's go time with Saudi Arabia, but their health is so low right now. How could they even defend this? Double kill onto Smile though. Waves pushing in top to bottom. Will it be the objective? Will it be the chase? Egypt now is being forced to recall back.
Huge moment there for Egypt. Looking to run it down. They might just say, let's get the Lord for safety. They know that Lark is not available here, Sanji as well. Does Saudi Arabia just let this one go? They've got to go ahead and clear that lane. They're trying to get some information that they need. It might just be better that they let it go and defend with their full force of team. Luckily for Saudi Arabia, they had those turrets down in Egypt, so they at least have some pressure from those minions going in. But you can already see it, right? We're at that 24-minute mark. There's not too many games we get to this point currently, and when it happens, you see these potions being picked up. Everybody has all the items they need. You're going to see some items being juggled around, especially when you're talking about immortalities plus the winter truncheons. It's up to this defense. This is a very strong Lord push here for Egypt, looking to take us to game 3.
What a hook coming in from Marrow, changes everything. Now there's no burst potential of Saudi Arabia right into the mercy and defense of their own base. Egypt is clearing waves, Lord pushing in, stunning Sanji out of the equation. Tarzan trying to hold this. Stroll looking for a way to jump here. Oh, Coffin being the first one to go down. No burst from Saudi Arabia. Now they're left to defend with 4 members.
They gotta clear this wave still. They have to take care of this. They're gonna go ahead and lose these turrets. Troll's gonna go ahead and charge up. A couple more minions to handle. Lark has a whole nother wave to deal with. They gotta put a front here.
Sanji just dropping low. Speedy is on a killing spree now. Troll is looking for a way to hold this once again. Canceling out the jump. Now the base is open. Mara with the Bloodhound and the pull. It's Lark. Speedy gets it with a mega kill.
It.
That's 30 kills onto this marksman, and Egypt bounces back and pushes this match for a game number 3.